Hello, good morning, everybody, one more time. Today we're going to talk about Siklu and the high capacity links up to 10 gigabits full duplex. The presenter for today is going to be Javier Trejo. I'm going to talk about a little bit about the company while we wait for everybody to join us. It's not going to take that long, so I don't take much time from Javier. I'm pretty sure most of you guys already know about Winncom Technologies. We do have our headquarters in Ohio. Normally for Cala shipments, we use our warehouse in Miami. We do have, we're a worldwide company. We attend up to 9 regions. We have more than 8,000 customers worldwide. We have 20 years of experience. Um, what you can get from Winncom Technologies, as you guys already know, we offer pre-sales. We do have pre-sales team. We can offer, as we're doing today, webinars, workshops. In Cala region, I'm pretty sure we are one of the highest distributor that maintains in stock for most of the brands that we carry. We offer marketing, event support for our clientele. I think this is very important. We do offer a credit line for Cala region, which I believe it is very necessary. And well, that's basically I just wanted to give a small introduction. My name is Christian Ramirez. I'm pretty sure most of you guys already know me. I am RSN for Central America and Caribbean. I will send my information at the end of the presentation. And today we're gonna talk about Siklu. We do have some promotions going on at this moment. We did a presentation on Central America. I believe it was last quarter. It was very good. And this is why we're doing it today in English, because I had a lot of customers that were asking information about this. And so at the end of the presentation, I'm gonna send you guys the promotion that is going on, and we can offer you a credit line if you guys don't already have it with us for what we have going on. And that's it. We're going to be answering all your questions at the end of the presentation, so we don't interrupt Javier. And that's about it. Javier, I think you can start. The floor is all yours.
Perfect. Thank you, Christian. Good morning, everyone. So I'll do my best. I usually speak Spanish, so I'll try as good as possible to make it in English. So we try to avoid having US people here because the people from Winncom and from Siklu attending this webinar are dedicated to let's say everything on the continent except the US and Canada. So we're trying to separate the accounts. That's why you'll hear a Mexican talking English. So I ask for forgiveness if I do something really stupid or say something stupid. Okay. So the idea is to talk to you about Siklu solutions. We deliver links up to 10 gigabits full duplex on capacity, and we will hear everything about it. So at the end, I hope you have a good understanding about the technology. It's a little bit of a long presentation. Most of it are images, so I hope we can do it in less than an hour so that you don't die in the PowerPoint presentation, okay? So what's our agenda? We're going to talk a little bit about Siklu, that is going there. We're going to touch the applications we have, then the solution building blocks. We're going to give a bunch of examples, and then we're going to talk about our 5th generation of B-band products or 60 gigahertz products, involving the Terragraph solution, which is quite some nice product to give high density connectivity in cities and suburban areas with a lot of capacity, going beyond the 10 gigabit mark. Okay, so that's going to be a news right here. Everyone's talking about this kind of solutions, but Siklu is the only one that's going to be able to deliver this year. We are actually already deploying some of this infrastructure worldwide. So who is Siklu? We are a market leader in the millimeter wave band that involves the E and V band, so 60 and 70 and 80 gigahertz band. We have around 110,000 units deployed by the end of Q2. We have something around 100 of smart cities deployed globally. So we have deployed for anything you can pretty much imagine. In the FCC market, we have around 57% of the market, and in the UK, which are the two biggest markets worldwide, we have around 63% of the market. In Latin America, we are by far the leader with, I would say, dare to say, around 70 to 80% of the market on the millimeter wave band. Okay. What applications are usually involved in this kind of millimeter wave solutions? So we go usually to the fixed wireless access solutions, where we deliver 5G speeds, but now not you don't need to wait until the carriers deploy this kind of technology, or that it's still 4G, or that there are other solutions. We can deliver gigabit solutions to the home quite easily. You'll see it. So usually we are on the business broadband and commercial business connectivity. We usually deliver between 1 and 10 gigabit solutions in a range of below 6 miles, or around 10 kilometers. We also work with residential broadband with multi-dwelling units, single family units, or low income. You'll see a couple of examples there with Digital C in Cleveland in the US. And we also work really close to smart cities, delivering CCTV or video surveillance solutions, Wi-Fi backhaul, IoT, government building connectivity, free Wi-Fi, etc., etc. So you'll see lots of examples of these kinds of solutions. We also have some use cases in the video surveillance. That's, I think, our second biggest vertical after fixed wireless access. Because we have a reduced OPEX that can, or we can also work in the industrial part where we will reduce the OPEX, and we will enable the autonomous systems to work, and therefore it can make things work better. We have one really nice projects here in Latin America in that regard, with General Motors, with AB InBev, the brewery, and some other companies like gas companies, gas station companies, because of the capacity to deploy fast and reduce the OPEX and the CAPEX, and enable them to do continuous business without having to stop production lines. We can also do really flexible high-speed connectivity, and not only deliver our solution, but extend fiber or extend other kind of networks, so that you can grow the density. You know, the new name of the game is not spread, and you don't have to attack as horizontal as possible. Now the new name or the new name of this game is called density. So where you are known, where you already have infrastructure, where you already have marketing people, what you want to do is grow your footprint there and grow your number of users. And millimeter wave bands is a perfect fit for that, because it will enable you to free some other spectrum that you can use on the access, and use some other bands on the backhaul or the backbone of the network, so that you can have this density and multiply your income by twofold or three times, depending on your case. We also work a lot with video analytics for different kinds of solutions. We have done amazing things with augmented video, with virtual reality setups for some of the customers. So that's quite also interesting, because our solution pretty much has a really low latency. We're talking sub-millisecond latency. Around our slowest gear is around 253 microseconds, and our fastest gear, which is the 10 gigabit links, they are in the range of 10 microseconds of latency. And usually all our equipment has a zero jitter or close to zero jitter. So that makes it a perfect or a really nice solution for real-time applications. What's our portfolio composed to? We have pretty much three main families. We call them now, these are the old names, but we call it rooftop high capacity point-to-point solutions. These are our fastest radios, and they work from a couple of 100 meters all the way to 10 kilometers or around 3 miles if you don't want to use any kind of backup, or we can go up to 6 miles or 10 kilometers if you use a solution we call or a license we call extendmm, which will let you use another solution that is unaffected by rain to be able to go on a wider distance. We have also a street level point-to-point solution called the 100 series family. This is a really small unit, 16 by 16 by 16 centimeters, so a really small square that will enable us to deliver up to 1 gigabit aggregated. We can go radius 50/50 and 75/25. And it's a really nice solution because it has several ports, and we can also enable the PoE out on the solution, so that if you need to power up a Wi-Fi AP or a couple of cameras, you can do it directly from the equipment rather than having an EMA box and then a switch and make it all more complex. This is a small distance solution, and it's created to be installed into street furniture. So this can sustain a lot of vibration, so that you can deploy the mesh or ring topology, so that you can have a network that won't go down if a link fails. This is a really nice solution for video surveillance, and it's one of the ones that we use the most. Then comes the new family. It's our point-to-multipoint family. We call it also street level. You can deploy it pretty much everywhere. They are really small equipment. The one on the left, it's the smallest millimeter wave equipment on the planet, and it's the size of a smartphone. If you know an iPhone, or you own an iPhone or a Samsung Galaxy S10, that's the same size, twice the thickness, because we need to stick there an Ethernet port. So these solutions right now, there's one that works out of the box on a point-to-multipoint topology. There's nothing to do it. You just power it up, and you can connect up to 8 subscribers. And then we have the new point-to-multipoint mesh solution based on the Teragraph protocol by Facebook, which will be a self-organized software-defined network, which will auto-align. You won't have to set anything up, and it will give us up to 10 gigabits aggregated capacity per node in a range of around 300 meters. So it's for high density, small distance. But if you think about a city where you need to deploy cameras, where you need to connect business or homes, 350 meters is more than enough distance. Or if you want to connect something inside a stadium, or inside a mall, or inside a parking lot, or inside an industrial facility, this distance is quite nice. So this is the Telegraph solutions. This is our 5th generation of 60 gigahertz millimeter wave equipment. It's going to be a really nice attack on the market, because we are approaching a 360 degrees coverage equipment without having to deploy, something like synchronization or another switch or boxes to create widespread solutions. So it's going to be really, really nice. We have or will be deploying also a software tool that will enable to or will empower you to plan. We already have that in place, and you can access it through our website. And then in a couple of more months, we will come with an operation solution or a control plane solution for these kind of networks, which will try to self-organize this network, so that you don't have any single point of failure, and pretty much you will deploy the unit and forget about it, and you will be able to manage it from a single central node. The difference between the current solutions and ours is that it will be based on this new software-defined networking, which will work with service flows, so you will be able to address capacity, and the network by itself will be able how to address and how to make that capacity go to that point where you want, and it will also be able to adapt. We are still in that part of the development to many to some other systems, so that when you set up a user in your user management software, it will also tell our runner solution who is going to come to the network and how he should be treated. So that's going to be really nice, because it will make everything easier on these kinds of deployment. So our software portfolio complementing our hardware tools. We have a financial tool, so that if you want to see if our solutions can can adapt to your needs in terms of services and see how much money you have and how to create your plans to deliver gigabit service to the home or to the business. We have a tool. It's on our website. It's siklu.com. If you go there, you will find our financial tool. We have also a link budget calculator so that we can help you out to see the performance of the link. Remember that because this is a high frequency band, rain is going to be an issue. So what we try to do is help you out to understand how rain is going to affect your network, and based on the availability you're looking for, we can reduce or extend the distance so that we can meet your SLAs. Remember, the only thing that this band is going to be affected by is the rain in liquid state, or it's rain, no snow, no fog, nor anything else. So we calculate our availability based on this rain factor. We have a really nice database taking 40 years of account of rain data of the world, and that's why how we try to minimize the impact of the network so that you can have the links you're needing. We have also the Windy or Smart Hold is called. It's an automated design tool for large-scale networks. If you have 3 or 4 links, the LBC is way better. But if you want to deploy a city or a wide network, the Windy will, you just upload the points via Google Earth, and then the Windy will try to automate the design and try to minimize the number of equipment and the cost of the network, reducing the interference to the minimum. So it will help you out to spend less and have the best performance of the network. It will do it automatically. So something that usually take you a couple of days or a couple of weeks, this will take you a couple of clicks. So that's really nice. At the end, you will get a KMC with the network, a bill of materials, so that you can fine tune your network and then present the project, or see if you have the amount of money, or if you can deploy the project. And then our runner solution that's going to arrive by the end of this year, which will automate the flow of the services through the network, and it will help us automatically optimize this network and do self-recovery or self-healing of the network with a multi-layer operation. We will have the data plane and then the control plane, so you can have a high availability, and it will take something in the millisecond range to correct a failure of a node and redirect all the subscribers to the new node. So it's based on a make before break kind of network. So it's going to be really nice, and it will be checking the network every couple of seconds so that it can guarantee a really nice services. This is part of our TeraGraph solution portfolio. So we're going to get in the use cases a little bit. So this is examples of what we have done in the world. We know there are more manufacturers there claiming they are the best of the best, but we have been doing this for the last 12 years, and we've been there. We have done pretty much everything you can imagine. And while others are still trying to deploy their first millimeter wave solutions, we are in the hundreds of thousands of units deployed worldwide. So we're going to talk about the urban and city fiber wireless access networks. And what we do is we connect buildings with high capacity, and from there we jump to some other buildings that need high capacity. This is an example on how we can expand the fiber connectivity or the fiber footprint in cities where you cannot deploy fiber anymore because maybe you cannot trench, or because the density on the aerial fiber is so high that there are not permits anymore. So if you have one of these cases where you cannot grow in one of these new parts of the city, or in a or in a place of a city where you are interested in, millimeter wave is a really nice solution that can let you expand this fiber. We support Ethernet ring protection topologies, so we can deploy rings so that if something fails, you will still have connectivity, and it will invert or change or rebalance the link in less than 50 milliseconds. So that's going to be fast, and we will be able to deploy high availability networks. And from there, from each new point, you can deploy also point-to-point services to, let's say, customers that are needing 500 megabits full duplex, or 200 megabits full duplex, or whatever speed you're looking for. So we have done this. This is a nice case of these kinds of network. It's for Cleveland. The customer is called Digital C. They specialize on giving low-income buildings and houses and schools and hospitals high-speed connectivity so that they can reduce the digital breach. And they are also giving above this network tools to enable people to go out of these high-need solutions, like trainings on how to do programming or cooking, or it enables multimedia services to these places so that people can start learning some new skills and try to reduce this breach. So it's quite nice. By this year, this network right now it has around 100 units, but for this year, Digital Sea plans to go to the range of 10,000 of units. So it's a really nice project that's evolving from 2017 when we started to 2020 right now. So it's a really nice network where we're using our equipment as a fiber extension. We can do pretty much the same on a town or suburban area, but in this case, we're going to use a couple of solutions, which is the point-to-point solution. In this case, the example is with a 10 gigabit link, and then from this extension of the fiber, we're going to use the point-to-multipoint solution where we have, we call it hub homes or hub buildings, and from there we're jumping with in 300-meter steps to give 1 gigabit connectivity either to buildings or to businesses or to homes, and that enables low cost, high speed services to the places. We've done it here in Santa Cruz. We did this in 2016, and this is just an example that we have really well defined, but we have many more that you will see. In this case, we have 18 buildings, and as you can see, we create some rings, and then we just jump in point-to-multipoint solution to add the houses to the network. Here's another example called Jade Communications in Alamosa, Colorado, where they have a huge fire. And the problem of this fire is that it destroyed the whole fiber infrastructure. So this Jade Communication company decided to give millimeter wave a try, and they became a fan of this kind of solutions because they won pretty much all the market, because by the time everyone was trying to repair or lay down fiber again, they were already giving services to the customers. So what they did is this kind of deployment. They use EVANT or 80 gigahertz to create point-to-point links from one POP to another POP, and then from there use point-to-multipoint solutions to attack homes, small businesses, and everything you can imagine to give connectivity, even video surveillance to the town. So this is a way to approach the customers real fast, real easy. In the garden style or MDUs or multi-dwelling units, what we do is we deploy vertical assets, pretty much the same as a point-to-point and then a couple of point-to-multipoints in the rooftops of the house, and then we drop the capacity for whatever solution. So it's pretty much the same we saw there, but with a really nice twist that you'll see in a couple of slides. So this is one example of a town we have deployed, and we use our Windy solution. This thing you're seeing is the way Windy decided to create the network. It took into account all possible connections to all possible homes, and then it took out the ones that were not giving us the services we were willing to use. So you'll see this is our AI tool that designs. At the end of the day, it ended up being like something like this, where we deployed point-to-point solutions from the fiber point to a house called Hub Home. And from there, we use or we create rings above the homes. And then with a sub-6 gigahertz solution like Cambium that our friends from Winncom use, we deployed point-to-multipoint, really short jump solution, less than 500 meter solutions, where interference is not an issue. And then you have happy customers with really high capacity. So this is a way where or a case where fiber, millimeter wave, and sub-6 or free spectrum solutions work hand in hand to deliver high capacity, high availability solutions. So we are not in a fight against any kinds of solutions. We complement each other really good. And we have and you'll see a couple of pictures of in Las Vegas in the US, where we can also deliver everything by ourselves. We create the backbone network, we create the access network, and we create the point-to-multipoint network. A couple of customers have done these kind of crazy things, and we can manage. So how does it is? This is in Las Vegas in the US, and we do this kind of deployment. Here it's Siklu, a Siklu only solution where we create rings above a home. You can see how small the deployment is with point-to-point solutions to create rings, and they end up having these kinds of solutions where you have high availability, high capacity networks. Here you'll see a couple of networks where they end up having the users have 400 megabits full duplex in a house, and the backbone of the network is working at 1 gigabit full duplex capacity. So they have high capacity, high availability networks. You can see there the rings, and that's a really resilient network. Whenever something happens, the network won't go down. So that's a really nice solution for the customer. We have here you can see the part of the network working on a point-to-multipoint basis. We have the compact unit. You can see how small it is, and the normal multi-hold units. So these are the kinds of deployments. Here is the hybrid solution that we have also used, where we jump or create hub homes with, in this case, I won't mention the brand, but it's with M and orange colors. But we use Siklu to bring a house, create it like a really nice node, and then from there give services to smaller homes or slave homes. We also work a lot with the long-range high-capacity transport or backhaul or backbone networks, where we need to understand availability. We do the planning so that you have 99 or more availability with a lot of capacity, and then for the downtime of this network when there's rain, so let's say on intervals of 15 to 30 minutes, we use another kind of technology. We can use a PTP 670 from Camium, let's say, so that when this link goes down, you don't lose the connectivity, but rather you see a drop on capacity. The rain, the density of the rain gets better or spreads. Then the gigabit link will go up again, and you will be able to deliver links. So you can define a threshold where you want to use your backup and the main link. So here's an example of a 9-mile link where they're using this kind of technology with 1 gigabit. Here in Latin America, we have, or in the territory that I have, we or Cala, if you want to call it, we have links as long as 12 kilometers and many on the range of 10 kilometers using exactly this kind of solutions. So as you can see, the breaks of the link is really short. It's really momentary, and then you can keep working with high capacity long links. I have a couple of pictures that if you want, after we're finished in a couple of more slides, I can show it to you of real cases in Cala, not the US like the usual presentation marketing give us, but in our territory with our climate, with our perks. So we are also really good at doing temporary networks. This is one of the best solutions we can give, especially for us. This tragedy of the COVID push a lot of new solutions that we didn't knew we could do. So we deploy the mobile hospitals. We deploy a lot of networks that need to be there for to bring data to some other places that were away from the hospitals because of the high or the low vacancy of beds in some places. We had to create some networks to connect these places and keep everyone informed. So we extend pretty much the network with our multi-point solution that you need to align. It will do auto aligning at a 90-degree range. So we use beamforming for that. You pretty much set it up, and it's a really fast deployment. In a couple of minutes, you can have high connectivity to these places. So it's a sad story, but it enabled us to give connectivity to be able to help more people. We have also done that. It's pretty much the same scenario for video surveillance solutions that need to be nomadic. That means they are going to move and then they're going to stay stationary for a couple of hours or time, and we will be able to enable this kind of networks. These are a couple of examples that we have done. This is in Vail, Colorado, where we deployed, we created a smart city or some kind of smart city with Milestone, Ruckus, Axis cameras, Arecon vision cameras, where we are doing backbone of the whole network, a parking lots machines plus the video surveillance plus free Wi-Fi to the town. So this is kind of nice, and we deploy everything above the lightning poles, because removing the tiles there or the floor there is quite expensive, because they have heating over the floor, so that in the winter they won't have any snow on the sidewalks. So all these costs something like $10,000 per meter of fiber. So it was crazy expensive. We have this another example of the city of Wichita. It's just a picture, but the whole network can be seen here, where we deployed a huge ring, and then we deployed via point-to-multipoint the camera solution, so that they can have redundancy and high availability for video solutions. So to come to an end and don't waste your time, because I know you have better things to do, I want to talk a little bit about our new family, which is the multi-hole TerraGraph mesh solution that we have worked with Facebook. So it's going to be the best in the class. We know that by far. We are going to be the first manufacturer to actually release TerraGraph equipment, or that is releasing TerraGraph equipment as we speak. We are starting to deploy this month our first, let's call it networks by our own equipment, where it's a protocol developed by Facebook. It's really powerful, and it's aimed on density and fixes wireless access. We're working with Qualcomm. Right now is the most advanced chipset, WiGig chipset, and we're working with the latest family, which is the 802.11ay solution, which enables us to transmit above the 10 gigabit per second connectivity. The 4 sectors in our solution can achieve up to aggregated capacity 16 gigabits per second. Okay, it's the 5th generation. We have more than 35,000 units of the V-band products deployed. Right now, that's a little bit of a lie. It's not 20 countries. It's about 45 countries in the world. And it's only 255 operators worldwide. We have our own deployment of antennas. We have developed a lot of equipment throughout these 12 years. So we're taking some of the parts that Facebook and Qualcomm are using, but the rest of the equipment is self-made. So we have developed a couple of really nice intelligent antennas that will do beamforming, that will enable us to achieve more gain than anything else on the market, and that will give us a really nice way to deploy this kind of solutions. And that in hand with our software tools that will enable you to plan it on your computer, and that planning will be able to be pushed to our smart holder and runner solution, so that you can plan, and then it will be pushed into the real life, so that you can deploy based on what you plan via software, so that it enables to make or streamline the solution real nice. It's a really nice solution. So what have we done on the V-band? We have deployed way more than 30,000 units by 255 US service providers. That's why we have way more. And 20,000 units deployed in 20 different countries that have been deployed in smart cities, other operators, and so on and so forth. So we have around almost, it should be around 50,000 units only on our V-band solutions. So that's quite nice. So in summary, we have a technology that is able to give you 5 gigabit or 5G capacity now. You don't have to wait until the mobile carriers or operators start deploying these kind of solutions. We have 5G fixed wireless access today at the best possible price to address multiple use cases and reduce your total cost of ownership of a network. And we take advantage of all the best solutions there are on millimeter wave, and by far we are the market leader, and so far we have been since 2011 the most deployed millimeter wave solution worldwide. So with this we can jump into the question and answer section, or QA. Are there any questions, my friend Christian?
Hello, how are you doing? Hi, Javier. You did very good. Let's give a few time so we can get all the questions. Guys, now this is the moment. Javier, I wanted to touch a little bit about maybe you can tell us what a customer can get with the promotion that is going on at this moment with the 2500s and then 8010. What can they get by buying one link of it?
Oh, you can get pretty much everything. I don't like to talk about prices, so please refer to Christian if you want to know the nickels and dimes pricing of the promo. But with the 2500 FX, you can get a 2 gigabit link, full duplex. We're talking if you like to talk on terms of the sub 6 other kinds of runs, you're going to get 4 gigabits aggregate, 50-50 radio, with the extend license for something really cheap. You'll be blown away. Probably you're imagining this is going to be a really costly solution, but you'll be amazed that we can be in the range of the worldwide wireless leader called let's call the name RF, if you want to call it, for pretty much a price close to this kind of solution. You're going to get actual radios that can give you actual 2 gigabit full duplex capacity for as little as possible. And then on the 8010 solution, we can give you a 10 gigabit link, full duplex, so 20 gigabit aggregated, 50-50, with the extend or the backup license that we talk about, so that you can go long distance for, let's say, what do you have in that price range, Christian, that people might understand, so that we can say we're extremely cheap and no one's going to be able to get to this kind of pricing for a 10 gigabit full duplex link?
I think we don't have anything at this moment. I think you guys been very this promotion is really good. I don't think we have at this moment.
Okay, let's say if you understand this analogy to the RF radios, if you buy two of those and you would be aiming to get 2 gigabits of that, probably our 10 gigabit solution is in that price range, but with 20 times the capacity.
Yes.
So that makes us extremely cheap. And we're going to keep this solution because the Kala market has been good to me and I want to address it. Christian knows that I used to work for manufacturers that treated the Kala market as a second-grade market, let's call it. I decided to fight that, and that's why, because of the market has treated us good, we are treating it back as good as possible. So we're offering our best solutions and we're trying to give the best pricing because we know we're a different market than anything in the world, and I'm trying to address it as good as possible. And therefore, the promotion is going to. Can I tell the time frame of the promotion, Christian, or it's forbidden?
Of course, you can.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So the promotion is going to be available all the rest of the year. So I don't want to fight it. I don't want to negotiate. I'm a lazy person, okay? So I don't want to negotiate licensing. I don't want to negotiate every single price of the equipment. That makes me probably not a bad guy, but a lazy guy. And therefore the promotion is staying for the rest of the year, and we're giving pretty much the best license and the maximum capacity of the radio. There are a couple of other licenses on the radio, but they are not worth it. So don't worry about them. You're getting a bang for your buck, is however you tell it in the US, right?
Perfect. We can start reading some of the questions.
Perfect.
Andrew is asking if the ring topology based on 8032 standard, if it is a standard or property.
Okay.
Also, do you support network slicing or hybrid slicing for 5G from home?
The last part I didn't understand, Christian, sorry.
It says, also, do you support network slicing or hybrid slicing for 5G from home?
Oh, okay. So we are based. We have two options of the Ethernet ring protection. On all the radios except for the 8010 is the normal standard. We use 8032 version 2, so you can create rings and subrings to deploy. On the 8010, because of the nature of the radio, we cannot enable the normal ERP. So we created our own way to deploy the rings. well, it's not a ring, it's just an extend-mm. So on the 8010, we cannot create rings per se. You need routers or switches around it so that you can create the ARP. But the backup solution or the extend-mm is proprietary. It works really good. It's just a little bit different because the switch embedded on the 10 gigabit radio didn't let us use the standard, and therefore we had to create our own solution. So the platform that it cannot use it is the 8010. The other radios, 2500, 600, 500, 1200, 2200, and they can use the normal standard. Regarding if we are a front haul equipment, on all the radios except the 8010 made for carriers or to be able to bring all these niceties for an ISP or tier 1 carrier for a front haul of 5G. We can support SYNC and 1588B2 on most of our radios. It's a different part number of the radios. So the radios we have with Winncom and Aaron Promo are the normal radios without timing and synchronization, because that to be able to do that, we need to put a lot of stuff inside the radio. So if you're not planning to use it or work with a tier 1 or do a backhaul of a small cell or anything that needs synchronization, you will be able to find the promo. If you need to do this kind of front haul or deal with timing issues, we need to talk about some other part of the family that I don't like to talk about, because adding these timing features makes the equipment more expensive. So we can do it depending on the need you have. The 8010 with the synchronization and 10 gigabit is arriving hopefully by Q4, maybe the beginning of Q1. We decided to launch a full Ethernet packet band radio rather than all the niceties of the carriers, because we were seeing more movement on the ISP's deployment. So the let's call it the carrier grade, the 8010 is arriving really soon with all the niceties you can imagine: XPeak, timing, synchronization. It will be it's going to be able to be a master for some other equipment and so on and so forth. We are thinking about these 5G deployments, so it's coming.
Perfect. The second question from Abraham: if a Siklu can work in cellular with cellular network, in cellular network?
Yes, we have, depending on the need. To be honest, it depends on what you are using it for. But we have work for LTE. We have deployed full LTE networks with only our equipment. We have done that in Mexico. We deployed around 100 links to create a whole wide area LTE network. We have worked with some other tier ones in Colombia for cellular networks, and we have also done some testing in the US. We work with AT&T. We work with some other really Virgin Mobile. We work with many cellular operators. Pelephone in Israel. That's the ones I have in mind. Yeah, we do it.
Perfect. And the last question from our friend Dan Soles is when will the mesh product be in Windy so that we can design a network?
Okay, the mesh part of Windy, we already internally can do that as Siklu employees, but that's not fun because you cannot have it. But it's going to be enabled it's going to have general availability. I think this month we're going to release. We're just doing let's call it a closed beta version with the team. You'll see me as commercial, but I'm actually a really fan of hardware, and I used to be an SC for Siklu, so I'm still involved in everything regarding designs and this kind of stuff. So we are already trying and trying to find all the bugs possible for this new release. That includes the Teragraph solution. In the release they're available right now, you can only do point to multipoint solutions, and this release that should be available this month will have the Teragraph solution in it, so that you can start deploying and creating mesh networks. It looks really nice. You'll be amazed on how well you can design a mesh network Sorry. Let's call it what was it? Forget about the mesh name. I forgot we're changing it because you know what happened in the 2010 there were a lot of mesh products, and then the mesh name became something really not fun. But anyway, it's mesh. Marketing gave me another term to it but I forgot it about. So yeah, you will be able to deploy mesh in hopefully by this month at some point. If you subscribe to our newsletter, you'll be given a news about it and be invited to take part of this. If you go to our website and you ask for permission, the email is going to come back to me. If you say, oh, I heard it from Javier, they will send the request to me and I will enable you to access it. We ask 1 hour of your time to show you how to use it so that you understand the path you need to walk from a network that doesn't exist all the way to having the bill of materials and the planning on KMC on Google Earth.
Perfect. That's it for the questions. I will be sending to all the attendees the promotion that we have going on, prices, and I think that's it. Javier, I just want to thank you for the presentation for today. Thank all the participants. And I don't know if you want to add something else, Javier.
No, thank you everyone for your time. I appreciate it. Sorry about the language. This is the first time I give a talk in English, so I was really nervous. So thanks for having your attention for the last 50 minutes. And whatever you need, please reach us through Christian, and we will be available here for any of your needs and questions. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Javier. Thanks, everyone.